Hello everybody and welcome to my video. Today I'm actually going to be playing with the screen unlocked. Yes, that's right, unlocked. I've actually learned how to play unlocked. So this is one of the first PvP matches I've played with unlocked. I'm not entirely certain if it was the first or if it was like the second, but yeah, I was pretty new at it. And as you can see, I'm going to be on the purple side, so playing with the screen unlocked is kind of a must at this point. And I tried for a long time to play with Unlocked and it just wasn't working out, but I stuck with it because I kept getting comments on my videos and on the forums, so I just really pushed it. And I have to say everybody was 100% correct. If you're one of those people who's just starting out playing LoL and you're playing with lock screen, do yourself a favor and disable that shit right away. Because your battle, or your map awareness rather, is going to be just like tenfold. It's going to be 10 times better. Now, if you're just starting out playing with unlocked screen, I recommend that you turn the camera acceleration down in the options menu. I've got mine set to about medium acceleration speed. You can see it doesn't move too quick, but it's good enough. And as you get better with it, you can always turn it back up. But anyway, as you can see, I'm staying hidden right here. I like to ambush with this little guy right off the bat. And yes, I am playing Teemo. You might have noticed I bought myself a new skin. I've got a couple of his skins, and I've heard a lot of shit from people talking about Teemo and how he sucks and that nobody plays him in the higher levels. But to each their own. I like him, and I work well with him. I'm basically running an AP build on him. I've heard you can run him in an AD build or a tanky style build, and I haven't tried any of those out, but I'm definitely going to be doing that. But there's just a lot of people that have problems with Teemo. Like, they either hate him because they get their asses handed to them by him, or they tend to get a Teemo on their team that doesn't really know what he's doing, and he doesn't build right, and just gets destroyed and feeds the enemy. I mean, at least from my experience, that's how it is. And a lot of champions can really outdo Teemo later on, I've been told, because he doesn't really excel at too much, especially late game. I've also heard that he's not really good in team fights, which I found to be somewhat true because when you get into team fights with him, he doesn't really have anything that's too devastating, A lot of times he'll last hit and steal kills. But in my opinion, he more than makes up for that because he offers a lot of map awareness. Now, there's people that talk about Oracle's potion and, shit like that, and people that are further down the line, they get better at spotting the mushrooms and just shutting him down. But I've actually seen Diamond 3 Teemo and a Diamond 1 Teemo play, and they do really good. So, I'm sticking with him. I like him. And, I really don't care if people think I'm a noob because I play him. You know what I mean? I do what I'm going to do. But I do play other characters. I recently unlocked Ezreal, or Ezreal, however you pronounce his name. And he's pretty cool. I like him. He's got a really hard-hitting Q ability that I like a lot if you can get around the minions. But I am level 17 at this point. Well, not in this video. This was a while ago, and you can see I just picked up that kill. But this was a while ago that I did this. I'd say probably about a week ago. So I've actually gotten better at it now. I'm a lot better with moving the camera around. So you can see I struggle with it a little bit because, like I said, this is one of the first times I went into PvP with the screen unlocked. And I did have some trouble with fraps. Now, I did download the LOL recorder, and I haven't used it yet. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been using fraps because it's what I know. But, yeah, it's pretty evident to me that fraps is just kind of a shitty way to record. I mean, I don't have the best computer in the world to begin with, so it really slows things down. And you're going to see that I pick up this kill right here. So I'm off to a pretty good start. I've already got a couple kills, and I'm leveling pretty decently here. So yeah, like I said, I did buy a couple of skins. I got the Cottontail Teemo and the Astronaut Teemo. I'm one of those people who, if I play a game and I like it, I am going to put money down on it because I just think that that's something that you should do. If you like something, you should invest in it a little bit. And the week that I was doing this, the IP boost was on sale, so I got a couple of those, and that worked out pretty nice because, like I said, I'm level 17 right now currently, and I am saving up for runes, tier 3 runes. I've got about 6k IP saved up, and I do plan on spending that all on runes, and it's probably going to go really fast because I've looked at the price for those, and it's pretty insane. I wanted to spend some IP on Misfortune because I wanted to check her out, but like I said, I think it's just a wiser move to go with the runes rather. Now you can see I'm keeping an eye on mid, and I notice he's having a little bit of trouble here. It's kind of back and forth, but he's pretty low on health, so I'm trying to sneak in here and get a gank real quick. Now I know most Teemos play the top lane strictly and try to stay up there, and I do that usually when I play as Teemo. I just feel that he's good in the top lane and pretty much never leaving the top lane. But you know, I've got some experience with Warwick, so I like to gank now and then. And you can see I forced him out of the lane. It didn't kill him. He must have popped a health potion or something, because from what I saw, that should have killed him. The poison tick alone would have been good enough, I thought. But yeah, like I said, sometimes they pop that health potion and they get away. So I noticed he's been signaling to be careful up here, and I decided to go up there and get back in my lane because he looked like he was having some trouble with these guys. And I come up here and immediately force that guy back and force this guy back and boom, kill. It worked out really nice because even though I didn't get that gank on the bottom, I was able to come back up here and gank these guys. And you could see they were getting overconfident. They overextended themselves and they were really pushing on him. So, you know, me coming up the side like I did, it really fucking threw a wrench in their plans. But yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why people hate Teemo so much. Is the poison is just a pain in the ass. Those mushrooms are a pain in the ass, and he's got great map awareness. Now you can see I forced him underneath his tower here. And the second he got a little confident, I ended up hitting him with a blind. And he came out to hit me, and he realized that he was blinded, and he backed away. So I've taken advice that people told me to level up my Q. Because it really is an awesome ability. It serves as a mini nuke, and it's a good thing to level up quickly. I mean, I don't think I've come across a single Master Yi that I haven't been able to shut down with that ability. It just works out really good against characters that are more melee like him. And coincidentally enough, it also works really good against the enemy Teemo. So if you build up your Q before they do, you're probably going to win. And the thing I noticed about it is you have to be careful because sometimes you can accidentally hit the minions like I just did right there. I thought I was going to hit him, but it didn't work out. Now that doesn't happen to me a lot, but that minion was basically right on top of him, so it can happen. Now the thing about it is, like I said, is it functions as like a mini nuke, and it's just a really good CC ability. It kind of shuts him down. But the other thing that's good about it is it's got a good range on it. It's about, I think it's 36% longer range than a standard auto attack. So that's something to keep in mind, because Teemo really does have to get in kind of close for his auto attack. So that's one of the weaknesses Teemo has, is that he really does have to get close. And if there's a champion that has good stuns or really good at closing the gap, Teemo can really get his ass just stomped. You got to be careful with Teemo, and that's one of the reasons why I think people don't play him as much going up into you know, like up through bronze or whatever, all the higher ranks, because it's so easy to counter him. You know, I mean, as long as you got someone who can close the gap, it's really hard for Teemo to harass as much as he should be able to. And that was actually pretty funny. I just kind of waited for him to come up, and he did, but you know, he killed me too. But I felt it was worth it because it was just hilarious. I really like his passive, and like I said before, you know, people say that with the Oracle potions and other shit like that, like wards and stuff, people are able to see him, and his passive isn't as important later on. But you know, like I said, I really don't care, because I like him now, and it's just the way I'm rolling. You know, from my experience playing MMORPGs and games, there's always going to be people that are telling you, oh, you should do this and you should do that, and I usually don't listen, because if something was working for me, I just don't feel that I should change it. And if it does become a problem as I go up ELO or whatever, you know, I'll just, you know, change as is necessary. But for right now, the shit is working out, so I'm rolling with it, dudes. And as you can tell, I'm trying to be sneaky again, coming up for a gank, and it doesn't exactly work out, and I'm forced out of the lane there. And they do a shitload of damage to me right there, so it definitely wasn't a good move. It hurt a lot, it forced me out. Now I do realize that as the skill level goes up, people are going to be using wards more, so it's going to be a lot harder for me to do things like that. But like I said, the shit is working out now, guys, so, you know, it's what I'm doing. So, you know, the only reason why I keep saying things like this is because I have been getting a lot of shit on Teemo and playstyles and how things don't work when you go up and in rank. And, you know, like I said, I'm not concerned with that right now. But that's one of the things about playing Teemo, is you gotta have iron skin, because people are going to mess with you a lot, you know. You're gonna get people talking shit to you on your team, people talking shit to you after a game, on the forums, I mean, my videos, and, you know, it's whatever. I like him, and, you know, he's just a little bastard. He's a pain in the ass. So a lot of people don't like him. And I've actually talked to players that have been playing him, and they're up in ELO. They're doing really good, and they all tell me the same thing. You know, playing Teemo, I've had to put up with a lot of shit. You know, people talk a lot of shit to me because they don't like him. You know, on either side. You know, he's kind of a loner. He's not much of a team player. He does well when paired with certain individuals, like most champions do. You know, he does have combinations that work out better than others. But a lot of the times when I win my games with Teemo, it's because I'm the one guy that stays in the top lane while everybody else is doing team fights, and I just kind of backdoor shit. You know what I mean? So I mostly focus on the top lane, or you know, just trying to sneak in. Sometimes I'll even go to the bottom lane. Like if everybody's fighting in the middle, it does kind of hurt the team if you're not there. But I find that, you know, if somebody's pushing a side lane, if the team fight doesn't work out, at least you're not losing all your other lanes, and there is one person who's still pushing that one lane. You know, I mean, the tendency for the meta is that, you know, mid-game everybody just kind of piles into the middle and starts just destroying each other. But I think you really have to be smarter than that. I can't tell you how many times the enemy team has been up on kills and I'm playing as Teemo, and, you know, they've got like 15, 20 more kills than us and we still won because I pushed the top lane. It went unanswered, and I was able to get in. And then everybody just piled up there. I'm like, all right, guys, well, I'm in the inner turret now, so you might as well just start piling up here. And, you know, as long as there's a couple people holding their attention down in the middle or in the bottom, you know, we get up there, and that's it. It's a good game. So from my experience, it's good to try to spread your enemies out. Now, like I said, I don't know how it works later on or whatever as you move up ranks. And I'm not really concerned with that right now. All I know is that this is working for me. If I can push a lane and, you know, mostly go unanswered, either because I'm too much of a pain in the ass for other people, they don't want to deal with me, or just because they're focused on the other teammates and I'm able to sneak around, it just works out. And I've even used myself as a ward. I've gone over to the Baron and just stood there invisible and served as a ward for the team, and we've gotten kills that way. We've pushed them out of there. So, you know, there are effective ways to play this little guy. While he might not be, you know, Mr. Team Champion like everybody likes, he does work out and he's got his perks. So yeah, sorry if I'm in defense mode here, but you know, like I said, I've gotten a lot of shit from playing Teemo. So now that I've gotten all that out of the way, I'm sure you guys would rather I focus on the game that's going on here instead of talking about this, but it's just some of the stuff that I wanted to get out of the way. Now you can see in terms of kills, we're pretty much just kicking everybody's ass, and you notice that the top lane's being pushed quite a bit. But I'm not really concerned with that because I know that the second I go up there, I'm just going to push everybody back anyway. So I wanted to swing down here and help push this lane a little bit. And I'm pretty certain that they spotted me coming down the lane, and so I wanted to stay still for a little while and hope that they forgot about me. And as soon as they got pushed down far enough, I decided, what the hell, I'll drop down and pick up a kill. And it's one of the reasons why I think Teemo's so fun, because he's so stealthy. And, you know, one of my favorite types of games have always been stealth-based games. Shit like Metal Gear Solid, and, you know, I just like that. I like being sneaky, and when I play World of Warcraft, I almost always played a rogue. If I wasn't playing rogue, I was playing mage, so that's just something that I like to do. And like I said, you can see my map awareness is a lot better here, and it's just a lot easier to pick up kills when you don't, you know, go face first blindly into a lane. And I do still get targeted now and then by the occasional turret, but you know, that happens. I've actually gotten better with pressing control to level up my abilities instead of mousing down to do it. I don't really do that as often now as I did in this video, and you might be able to tell there's a few instances where I didn't mouse down and I did use control. And what I found with playing League of Legends is that when you first start playing, you get into some really bad habits right off the bat. You're playing with lock screen. You know, you're clicking on things when you shouldn't be, like clicking abilities, leveling up your abilities by clicking on them, and you slowly have to unlearn all the stupid shit that you did when you were new, and that's what I'm in the process of doing now. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been trying out a lot of other champions. When they bring out the weekly champions, I try every single one of them. So I don't get too tied up in one character. I do get a little familiar, and I try to learn what those characters or what those champions are all about so that I can counter them more effectively. And you can see right here I got a little overzealous and I rushed into there. But you know, I did pick up the kill. I ended up getting killed by Twisted Fate, but that's alright because I got a kill, and as long as it was 1 for 1, it really doesn't bother me that much. What I probably should have done was run away and try to lead him through my mushrooms or my satellites. I just call them mushrooms anyway, but that's probably what I should have done, but it's alright because I still picked up that kill. And that's one of the things I really like about Teemo is that you can run people through traps, and some people are smart about it, like they won't run into the bush after you, or if you drop one, they'll avoid it. But, you know, even if they do avoid it, they have to go around it, and it slows them down. So if you're running away and you're about to die and you drop a mushroom in front of you, they have to now stop to click off to the side, and it gives you just a little bit more time to get away. And that's one of the things I've heard about people, like they say when you go up, when you move up ELO and things get harder and people get smarter, they're really good at avoiding your mushrooms. But that's just it. You're forcing them to avoid your mushrooms, and it's taking them that much longer to get around. And you can see I came around the back and I picked up this kill, which is just really easy to do. I mean, my opponents, you know, they obviously weren't that good. I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but it wasn't very intelligent for him to stay up there and push that lane. He definitely overextended himself, and I capitalized on that. And when I do play the game, I kind of rely on people to overextend because I typically do come around the side like that. I'd say in basically every game I play, I capitalize on that because, you know, that's one of the mistakes that people make, like all the time. And in this level of play, I'm not even like, I don't even know what the hell I am. I don't even know how to check. Yeah, that's how new I am to everything. But, you know, the people that I do play against, they always overextend, and I always capitalize on it. But, you know, I just do my best to get those mushrooms everywhere I possibly can because I found that I do pick up kills even when I'm dead or, you know, when I'm buying equipment or nowhere around. Those mushrooms are really OP. Now, you can see right here we come down and we try to gank this guy, and he's kind of ready for it because he uses one of his abilities. I'm actually surprised he got away because we were doing a decent amount of damage, but he did get out of there. I'm not certain about Twisted Fate. I mean, he's one of the characters I need to play just to get more of an understanding on him. But yeah, he got out of there. He used that ability, I think, that I mentioned in my other video where the cards suddenly appear on the ground and then poof, there he is. Sort of like a teleport. But if I was him, I wouldn't have used that. I would have just ran away because he got really lucky. But you can see this guy came right up and ran face first into my shrooms, and that worked out great. And I just stood my ground and whittled him down there. And then I spin around, and I notice Twisted Fate's still dicking around, and we pick up that kill right there. So, you know, you can see it's not much of a challenge for us. These guys are definitely not very skilled. I'm not even certain what level they were. I can only assume that they were around the same level as I was because the matchmaking and all that. I don't know how accurate the matchmaking system is because sometimes I'll come into a game and my teammates just get destroyed. And, you know, I usually do well with Teemo, you know, not to sound like an arrogant ass, but I do. I usually do well. Even if my team's getting their ass handed to them, I typically do okay. But, you know, I guess the matchmaking system isn't perfect because a lot of times it's just a steamroll, you know. I don't really come across a lot of even matches where everybody's like, oh my god, it was a great game. It does happen, but more often than not, one side just gets completely steamrolled. But I usually solo queue. I really don't have anybody that I play with too often. I do play with a couple of friends, but you can see down here I tried to flash in there and pick up that kill, and it didn't work out. So I do what comes natural, and I drop a mushroom in the bush. You know, because, you know, if you're Teemo and you ever miss out on a kill, well, the only thing that really makes you feel better is to just drop down a mushroom. It's seriously insane how many of those things you can drop down. I think there's something like 35, 36 of them you can have on the map at once. So, I definitely take advantage of that, and I place them a lot more than I did in this video now. You know, basically if there's a mushroom up, I place it. I like to always have one on deck though, because I find that it's really good if you're being chased, like I said, or sometimes if you're just standing still and you're fighting somebody, you can drop a mushroom at their feet, and it'll actually help you a lot with killing them. And just to make a case in point, you can see right here, I do drop a mushroom at my feet, and it does kill him. So, like I said, I always like to try to have one on deck, but I did end up dying, but it's alright because I got the kill. Now, one of the things that I found about using mushrooms is that you can't really be afraid to use them on minions. I've actually used them to farm the minions and, you know, pick up that little bit of extra gold, and that works out pretty good, especially when you got a big cluster of them little bastards. So I mean, I love his ultimate. You know, it's not as flashy as other people's ultimates. Like, it's not like Lux's skill shot or anything like that, but it's just awesome. You know, I mean, it serves as a ward. It poisons, it slows. and I find infinite uses for that shit. There really isn't a wrong way to place one of them. You know, the only way that I found that really isn't the most intelligent thing to do with them is to place them smack dab in front of the minions, and only one minion takes the damage. That's the only time I found a problem with it. But you can see I come up here for the gank, and it's just they just make it way too easy for me. So I pick up this kill right here, and I'm now intent on chasing this bastard out of here. And I am going to pick up this kill too, because there's no way you're getting away from Teemo. He's just going to run you down. And the best thing he could have done was just turn around and try to do some damage. You know, I was basically laughing out loud in real life the whole time that was going on, because whenever somebody runs away from me, I just know it's a sure bet that I'm going to get a kill. Except with Ren. Sometimes Ren looks like he's hurt, and I read that he can like make himself look like he's more damaged than he is, and then he'll spin around and just beat the shit out of me. So I'm really careful about chasing that crocodile bastard. A crocodile, alligator, whatever. I'm really careful about chasing him because he can be a son of a bitch. You gotta watch out for him. And another one I typically don't chase down is Warwick, because he's really good at spinning around and just picking off your health and running, picking off your health and running, and then all of a sudden he'll ultimate onto you and just nom your face right off. But, you know, I'm learning which champions to chase, which ones not to chase, and shit like that. Which ones that if I see them in the top lane, I should probably, you know, call for a switch because they're going to kick my ass. I think her name is Akalai. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think she's an assassin champ. I've had trouble with her. She's pretty tricky, so I do have some trouble with her, but I'm starting to learn how to fight against her. She's got this ability where she like goes invisible and then she comes back again, and it just kind of throws me off. But what I've been doing for that is if she goes invisible, there's this little ring on the ground. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. I'll drop that down in the middle where she goes invisible, and she'll usually come back into the middle of that. And I'll just start dropping mushrooms all over the damn place and trying to take her out. But you can see here they noticed that I went into the bush, but they can't see me because of my passive, because I did go invisible. And he's going to run right up face first into that, and I'm going to pick up that kill real easily. And now Twisted Fate's all by himself, and he's definitely going down, and I pick up another double kill. So these guys just made it really easy for me, and you know, I can feel their frustration. They're probably over there typing, motherfucker, you know, just this Teemo, man, he needs to get nerfed. He's a pain in the ass. And like I said, if you don't know how to face Teemo, he's just gonna whoop your ass. And you know, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it does get harder for Teemo later on, and it probably gets harder for any champion later on, as people start to learn how to deal with you anyway. But from what I've heard, it's really hard to play Teemo effectively later on. But there is this guy called Mick Chicken Wings, and he's really good. I've watched some of his videos, and I've learned a lot by watching his videos. And he's like Diamond 1 right now, and he's done it all with Teemo pretty much. I'm pretty sure he's done it with just Teemo exclusively. So it gives me hope that you can play Teemo effectively later on. And you can see I'm waiting for Twisted Fate to move up into the lane and for the perfect opportune moment to strike. And I do hit him, but Yordle should never overstay his welcome, and I got the hell out of dodge. Now you can see right here I'm waiting just because I want to get my passive to come up, and I do, and it gives me that extra attack speed for 5 seconds, and I'm able to pull off this kill, but not before he kills my buddy. So that definitely sucked, but I did pick up that kill. Looking back on it now, I probably should have just ran down there and started firing at him, because we probably could have killed him together anyway and then picked up the kill off of Twisted Fate. But I'm always looking for ways to use my passive as much as I can. And you'll see right here I made a little bit of a noob mistake. I didn't have my screen scroll down, and he was able to get away when I used my flash. And like I said, I've gotten better with it. You know, if that were to happen now, I definitely would have picked up that kill. But, you know, it's just part of learning the game, man. You know, growing pains. You got to make those mistakes in order to get better. And like I said, I'm a lot better at it now. I've usually got the camera where it needs to be. But he has absolutely no idea that I'm hiding. And I don't think he fully understands the way Teemo works. You know, he doesn't understand his passive, because that just keeps happening over and over again. The poor guy, I kind of feel bad for him now. I'm sitting here looking at it because he just got destroyed. The best thing he could have done was just get out of the lane and go back and get health. So, feeling confident that that lane is pretty well pushed, I decide to spread out a little bit here and try to pick up some more kills down here. And I'm just, you know, I'm watching the map. I do that a lot now. I'll just kind of hide in the bushes and look around to see what's going on. you know, the map awareness with screen unlocked. You know, you guys were right. Everybody who told me get off a lock screen ASAP, I don't give a shit how long it takes you to learn it, just do it. You were absolutely right. So yeah, that map awareness, man, it's a game breaker, you know. It just really gives you a leg up on the competition. If you can see that much further than they can, you're gonna kick their ass. And you know, it's pretty obvious that most of these guys are playing with locked screens still, because they don't see when I go invisible. And if they had their screen moved up just a little bit, they would see that I was standing there and I went invisible, but they don't because they're playing with locked screen. So yeah, locked screen sucks. Don't do it. It's bad. Bad habit. So anyway, I come up here and I try to pick up this kill, but it doesn't quite work out and he gets away. But I hurt him enough to push him out of the lane, and anybody who sticks around with their health that low is just asking for trouble. So you can see I've got a little bit of gold to play with here, so I do take the time to go ahead and recall back to my base and pick up an item. And I believe I picked up the hurricane bow this time. I don't always pick up this item. Yeah, that's what I grabbed. I don't always pick up the hurricane bow, but I do like it for pushing the lane. And for Teemo, it's really awesome because, like I said, I believe I said this in my last video, it does apply poison to both bolts. I believe it actually fires out 3 bolts. I could be mistaken. I don't know. But at any rate, I found it works really nice, especially if it's 2-on-1, because, you know, I mean, anytime you can poison 2 people, because one of the most powerful things about Teemo is his auto attack. It's just, with his passive, with the toxic shot, it's just the best thing that you can really do with him, and that's why he's considered kind of easy mode, because he just whoops people's ass with regular auto attack. And you can see right there, I made the mistake of using my blinding shot and then letting my auto attack go after the minions, and I do that a lot. It's something I have to work on. You know, I fail to click on them, and I just use my blinding shot, and I'll end up attacking the minions for the first, 1 or 2 seconds. So I'm trying to work on that. Another item that I think is kind of situational if you really want to push the lane is the static shiv. And if you get the hurricane bow with the static shiv, I mean, forget minions, just forget it. They're like paper. You cut them right down. Now, a lot of people actually advised against me using that, because I do think I picked it up in my last Teemo video. I can't remember, but I remember people telling me not to get it. Now, that might be true when you're going against champions, but I find that it works incredibly well against minions, and sometimes that's all you need to do with Teemo is just push that lane back. And, whenever I pick up the hurricane bow, guys, the gold just comes rolling in. And once the gold comes rolling in, I could always replace the hurricane bow later. So, while it might not fit everybody's playstyle, you can see right there I got stunned. That's one of the things you gotta watch out with Teemo, by the way. You get stunned and it's over. But some people like to use cleanse with Teemo. I typically don't pick that up because I just like to flash and ignite. But yeah, anyway, back on the subject. I find that the hurricane bow works really good for farming that gold early on. And while I didn't pick it up early on here, I opted for the Gnasher's Tooth first. Sometimes I will pick up the hurricane bow quickly because I just want to, stack up on that gold. And if you're going to go for the hurricane's bow, I recommend you get it early on, because then you can maximize the effectiveness of the gold that you farm. But typically that's what I like to do. I like to get that Gnasher's Tooth as soon as I can. I mean, sometimes I'll just stay in the lane as long as possible and rush it. I won't even get the Sorcerer's Boots. Some people like to get the Greaves. I usually go for the Sorcerer's Boots. Like I said, I like that AP build, and it's just what I'm comfortable with. I almost always get 2 Darn's rings as soon as I can. And, those end up getting replaced later on. But I find that it gives me that little bit of power that I need in the beginning. Because that's one of the things about Teemo, is that he's really strong coming out. If you're not whooping ass with him in the beginning, you're doing something wrong. And you can see I picked up that kill right there. But yeah, like I said, you should be whooping ass right out the gate with Teemo. He's a really good early champ. And people say he's really not that effective later on, but, I beg to differ, because, later on, everybody gets stronger. I guess in terms of versus other champs, he's not as strong as they get later on, but you'll notice I came up here and I cleared these guys out lickety-split. And I mean, just look at all that gold that came pouring onto me. That's the reason why I like the hurricane bow. it's just 10 times faster for clearing things out. And, who the hell wants to sit there and just hit them each individually? And it's an item that increases your attack speed. And yes, I did pick up that kill with my mushroom. So yeah, like I said, get those mushrooms everywhere you can. Try to find choke points, and put them in the bushes, and you are more than likely going to get kills when you don't expect it. But what I believed happened there was Cyan was chasing him, and he ran into the bushes, and face planted into one of my mushrooms. So Teemo causes rage, man. I mean, rage in multiple different ways, because first of all, it pisses you off if you're the one who's running away and then you run into a mushroom. And second of all, if I was Cyan, I probably wouldn't have been too happy about that, because all he had to do was probably hit him one time, and he stepped into my mushroom and I ended up getting the kill. Now you see Misfortune comes in here, and she's got full health, but she just doesn't stand a chance. I mean, if I didn't have such low health, I would have just destroyed her. But what I found that I should have done with her was probably moved around a little bit more to get out of the way of that shot that she does there, where she covers the ground. And I actually did learn from that. Usually when I play against her, I move around a lot now, so that shot she uses, Make It Rain, I think it's called. I'm not certain. I definitely do good at getting out of the way of that now. And flash forward, because nobody wants to see that for 30 seconds. Now you'll notice that I am talking a lot in this match, trying to kind of lead people along. I normally don't do this, but sometimes I'm just feeling like maybe I should just try to formulate a strategy. I don't like to come across as bossy. If I come across as bossy to people, I always say, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to lead us to victory, because nobody else is really formulating strategies. And if people are being quiet, I will take the initiative and try to come up with strategies. And there you can see that Hurricane Bow really doing its magic right there. A couple nights ago I got into a game and nobody was saying anything, and we were losing pretty bad. So I decided, what the hell, I'll take the initiative and try to lead a little bit and tell people where to go, and just try to formulate a strategy. And this one guy was like, well, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? We shouldn't be listening to you. You're not our leader. And I was like, look, man, I'm not trying to lead this team. I'm not trying to be your boss. I'm just trying to formulate a strategy so we can win. And man, it really sucks when you get people on your team like that, and they're just really negative. They're not doing anything to help the team, and they go against the grain as much as they can. And this guy just, he was doing horrible. He was having a horrible game. And you can see I chased this bastard down right here. And he gets off a pretty good amount of strikes right there. He decided to stand his ground, but it didn't work out for him. But anyway, like I was saying, it really sucks when you get into a game with a naysayer like that, It just gets under your skin. You just want to reach to the screen and choke the motherfucker, And this guy was just, doing everything he could to be a dick. He's like, who the hell are you? You're not my boss. And instead of arguing with him and feeding into his shit, I was like, calm down, my buddy. It's all right. It's going to be okay. And he was just getting even more pissed. And he's like, well, fuck you. I'm just going to stand here AFK. And, everybody ended up reporting him because he was such a hindrance. And, fortunately, we won. We actually spun it around. People listened to what I said. And what ended up happening is I had most of the people in mid, and they were holding everybody down, and I snuck in and I backdoored in the top, and we won. And I actually got into the enemy nexus, and I took that shit down by myself, and that felt great. And the whole time this guy was just talking shit. Who the hell are you to lead us? And it didn't matter because I didn't give in to his shit. Now, I've had games like that where I first started playing and people were being nasty, and I'd argued with them, and then everybody would start arguing, and it was chaos. And, that shit just doesn't fly, man. You can't play like that. If somebody's being a dick, try to be nice. Do the best you can to turn it around. And I've got a bit of a temper anyway, so that's kind of hard for me because, I can tend to rage on people like that. But, it just works out better if you try to play it cool. Now you can see right here, I'm just kind of being cautious. I'm waiting for her to chase, and I noticed she went for him, and there really wasn't anything I could do to save him. I mean, if I would have came in sooner, she would have just ran under the tower and got away. So I waited for her to come out, and I whooped her ass. And I just I'm shutting down their minions big time. I noticed that top is having a little bit of trouble, but my main concern is just pushing this lane as much as I can, because I believe that we can end it right here. Once these bots get in here, or these minions, I keep calling them bots. Once these minions get in here, yeah, I know it's over. So I start asking for assistance to try to get everybody to come down and help me. But you know, with my attack speed, it's over anyway. That tower's gone, so it doesn't really matter. And that's one of the things about Teemo. Like I said, he's really good at that backdoor shit. You know, he's got that high attack speed, and he just breaks down towers real fast. And this is basically exactly what happened in that game where I said that guy was being a dick. I snuck up through the top, and I took everything down by myself while they held him down in mid. And you can see it gets pretty crazy right here, so I fall back. I know there's probably no way we're going to be able to push that, but I do go ahead and drop a mushroom down there, hoping that they'll run into it, and it didn't look like that happened. I dropped a couple of them, and he's seen it, but it kind of caused him to run around, and it slowed him down a little bit, and that's it. I picked up the kill. And what he did was a typical newbie move, trying to chase someone down like that. It's just not going to work out. You know, if you're chasing two people, and you chase them too far where you can't get underneath your turret for cover, and they decide, well, fuck it, let's just turn around and take this guy out. Like I said, that's exactly what happened. So I just spun around, and I got an easy kill right there. So I'm going to go ahead and sell that Doran's ring and try to pick something else up. Now, I did make a little bit of a mistake here because I went for Wit's End, and I should have went for the Crystal Scepter. But, you know, you live and you learn. Yeah, like I said, this was probably a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. So I've come a long way since this video. But, you know, I mean, I'm doing good enough. I've got some really powerful items, and I'm pretty much completely fed. So, you know, I mean, at this point, it's pretty much a good game. There's really not anything they can do. As soon as I come across them, I'm just going to... My attack speed's going to be so fast. You know, my AP is just ridiculous. And the poison damage, and you can see how quick I am. I come up here and I pick up these kills real easy. And I do believe I have the Hurricane Bow to thank for that because it branched off that shot. I'm not certain if I just targeted him and then targeted the other guy. But yeah, it's been a really good game for me. This is probably the most kills I've ever gotten. But it has a little bit to do with the fact that, you know, these guys really aren't that good. It probably has a lot to do with that. So I'm not trying to brag and say, oh, I'm awesome now. Because I'm not. I'm still learning. I'm making a lot of mistakes. But these guys were clearly not anywhere near my level of skill. And, you know, like I said, I just got to say thank you to everybody who told me to play with the screen unlocked. Because that's just a ridiculous advantage. And this early on, I've only been playing this game for, I'd say, maybe 3 weeks. And when you're not even out of like bronze, whatever, I haven't played a single ranked game yet. I'm still playing just regular games, normal games. But you know, when you learn as quick as I've learned because I've listened to people, I take people's advice, I watch my videos, and I've learned this little guy pretty well. I've got him down to a science pretty much, his AP build anyway. And now I'm just going to roll over people who don't, you know, have the experience. So, yeah, it's probably going to get a lot harder later on. But right now, I'm bossing with him, and I'm loving it. And, you know, like I said, I've tried other champions. And, yes, I actually survived that. I don't know how I did, but I did. I'm getting that kill. So I just got my ass out of there as quick as I could. And instead of going for the grass, I just decided, well, I'll just go next to my mushroom. But... anyway, like I was saying, I've tried other champions, and none of them really fit for me. Like, I like Ezreal, and he's pretty cool and everything, but I don't know. He just, I like Teemo so much more. I don't know if there's maybe a champion you guys can recommend to me that's similar to Teemo. I'm not sure. I think there's another character that can go invisible, but I like the stealthiness of Teemo. And I like the fact that he can drop mushrooms, which are essentially like traps. I like that a lot, and it works out for me. But I do want to try out other champions, so I don't know if there's maybe someone you guys can recommend to me, maybe another type of, you know, another marksman type character. I don't know if you want to call it AP carry, AD carry, I don't know. I'm not really familiar with all that yet. I just call him marksman. I got yelled at the other day because I was saying marksman, and people were like, is that what we're calling him now? But that's all I know how to call them because they do damage from a distance, so I'm calling them marksmen. I don't really like the melee characters, but yeah. So if you've got a champion you think I would do well with based on my experience with Teemo, please let me know, because I want to try out other champions. You know, I don't want to just play Teemo all the time. While I do like him, and as you can tell by my kills, I've gotten pretty decent with him, I want to expand my horizons and I want to start playing somebody else. So make sure you guys leave a recommendation. You know, as always, constructive criticism is welcome. You know, the only thing I'm not really looking to hear right now is you shouldn't play Teemo because he sucks. You know, I've heard enough of that shit. I don't need to hear it anymore. I understand that he's not, you know, he's not played in the higher ELO brackets or whatever. I get that, but right now I'm pretty happy with him. I like him. But yeah, I'm open to suggestions on other champions. So that's it. That was the good game right there. Now, I don't always do this good, obviously. I have games where I get my ass whooped, but I'm not, you know, I'm not interested in recording that stuff. You know, I'm not going to say that I always do this well. But I'm sure nobody wants to see me getting steamrolled, so I don't record that shit, you know. I might start recording and it doesn't work out, and then I just delete it. But usually when I win a game, I give honors all around, as long as people are, you know, don't bounce out too quick. I normally don't give somebody honors if they just take off, you know what I mean? You know, if they split and they don't take a second to say good game, I'm not going to give you honors for that, just because, in my opinion, it's like a rage quit. Well, fuck you guys, you know. We lost, and fuck you. And you can see I got a lot of IP there. I think that was my... Yeah, I think I was using the IP boost, but the funny thing happened here. Somebody actually reported me for, I think it was negative behavior, and just as I hit stop on the record button, you can see offensive language, yeah. And that just, that cracks me up, because I didn't say anything offensive, and it was probably somebody on the opposite team who got pissy because, you know, they got their ass whooped. But yeah, that's all I got for this video, guys, and like I said, constructive criticism is a good thing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.